Inside the Walton Arena. The Razorbacks are back inside the basketball talents of Mid-America. Coach Calipari and the Hogs need you there and need you now all season long. A limited number of single-game tickets are available right now. Just head over to ArkansasRazorbacks.com and purchase yours today.
But you're playing two of the bottom 4 or 5 teams in the next couple of games. There's nothing easy about a road trip. Nothing.
Yes, this is what down south, a handshake means something. The other actions to the talking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is rooted in Southern tradition and grit. Southern born and raised in Arkansas based, Brad Hendricks has made a home in South Superwater year after year. So for car and big truck wrecks, medical malpractice, wrongful death, bankruptcy, and Social Security claims, his law firm reduces results. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Southern roots, serious results.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
We're already into February now.
Yeah, less than sunshine. I took this afternoon with 68 north and 70 south. Mainly clear skies, right on my low. Windy north to 30 south. And then Saturday, lots of blue sky and sunshine. High 18 days. I'm Zoe Rose, on ESPN.
The weather is brought to you by Inbound Spirits, Portsmouth's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor. Located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Portsmouth. At Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that money yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet sells, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. That's Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Everybody, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Pete's back on the strong road closing. He worked with Empower to help him get good money.
Hey man. Yeah, they're recording a local segment, but they'll be in here like probably in 2 minutes.
I got you.
I'm just making sure everything starts.
You're good. What's your name?
Christian.
I'm Brandon.
Brandon, nice to meet you, man.
We'll have it right here. 11
Her background noise on YouTube.
What's up?
Read the top comment.
What's up, man?
Good morning, Tommy. How you doing?
Whatever we're doing.
Do this.
Yeah, whatever we're doing now. Opposite.
Oh, it's because he went live on this or something.
We're having one in the morning, technically.
I'm not sure what they mean. I guess when I was talking to you, they heard me. I don't know how.
Mic on?
I don't. I don't think I could. I'll fix that up.
How's it going, Brandon? Hey, will you print off some rundowns for us
Yes.
too? I didn't get to that. Super Bowl Sunday, Tommy. Are you getting excited yet? Can you really feel it? I do love watching the Super Bowl. I was making that mashup this morning. I just got so excited. I put some of the best plays that I remembered from my childhood growing up and watching the Super Bowl. I had this pack of plastic helmets that had all 32 teams on there. And every year I would go up to the mantle where the TV was, surrounded by all the decorations and whatnot. I'd get those 2 plastic helmets of whatever teams were facing off. I'd set them up there and just watch the game and wonder and hope that one day I would be playing in that game. I'm not here talking about it instead, but it still got me a little bit excited thinking about it this morning.
I do think it's one of the, for a lot of people, it's exciting, but I think it's because we all like to gamble on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that, back when you were a kid, you were calling the bookie up, or your dad was going, maybe your dad was, but hey, we all have the Bet Saracen app in our hand, or, We've gotten on a $20 board. Have you ever won a square on a board? Have you ever had the right numbers at the end of a quarter or a half?
No.
You know, that could be a pretty good payday.
Very lucrative if
It
you
can be
do.
very lucrative. So it's obviously one of the most gambled on, wagered on events of the year, and I think that's why it excites a lot of people because you got money on the game. So I mean, I think that's going to be another reason we are intently watching on Sunday. That's where we begin. We're going to call it a Football Friday with the Super Bowl on Sunday, and it's brought to you by QC Kinetics. 40,000 people can't be wrong. 40,000 people. That's how many people have felt the benefits, are no longer feeling the pain, and understand that regenerative medicine, regenerative treatments with QC Kinetics can improve their life. The truth is, surgery isn't always the answer. It wasn't for me, and it probably isn't for you. And fortunately, QC Kinetics is right here in Northwest Arkansas. And this part's critical. The sooner you start, the faster the inflammation will ease, the sooner you'll slow down osteoarthritis and its progression, and the sooner you get back to living your life. 479-999-1234, 999-1234 for QC Kinetics.
I want to start right here this morning. We'll get into more of this as we have some of our guests on later on, and in the SEC update, we're going to have Jackson Collier on with us from Hogbeat. He does the Hogbeat half-hour podcast talking basketball. One of the more knowledgeable guys that talks basketball here in the state of Arkansas. We're going to have him on later, but Tommy, some more news, obviously, in the Charles Bediako situation in Alabama. And Nate Oates came out yesterday on the Field of 68 podcast. He had a lot of stuff to say that's kind of backwards, in my opinion, but imagine that coming from the Alabama basketball coach. But now, Tommy Greg Sankey has got himself involved a little bit here in this Bediako situation. So we're going to start right here for just a few minutes, and we'll get into our opening drive. But I want to hear your reaction to this cut from Nate Oates talking about Charles Bediako. So Nate Oates is basically insulting Tom Izzo, John Calipari, everybody that's come out and said this is dumb, this is stupid, because according to Nate Oates, they're not thinking logically, Tommy.
He's defending his position.
And his player, which I understand.
He's defending his player. I would imagine in private moments, he knows what he is doing is probably not in the best interest of the game moving forward. But it is in the best interest of his season now, which has not panned out to the expectation Alabama had, which was to be at the top of this league right now. Mm-hmm. And they're not. That's kind of become the new standard that he's created. He's not able to feed the monster. He pulled this lever with Charles Bediako to try to turn this season around. So far, I'd say it hadn't been a glowing, overwhelming response in that regard. Now, they may get this thing going and they may turn it on at the right time. Basketball's kind of like in the regard that the hot team at the end of the year can sometimes be the one holding the trophy. But I don't believe that Nate Oates really believes what he's saying is in the best interest of the game. And obviously Greg Sankey yesterday spoke for the league, and I don't think he spoke without getting at least
a good feel for what ADs and university presidents think around this league before he filed his affidavit on behalf of the SEC and urging the NCAA to uphold its rules. And basically going completely against the position that Nate Oates is stumping for there. But Oates has no other place to go. He's painted himself into this corner. He's got to follow through with this narrative.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to get your take on. So Sankey signs an affidavit he's basically in support of the NCAA finding some way to get this situation resolved to where Bediako doesn't have the eligibility that he has. And so he stated clearly that the NCAA eligibility rules are essential to the integrity of college sports and that the courts uphold them in this case. And he didn't mention, Alabama or Bediako specifically, but it's obviously, about that. I wonder if, this is kind of odd. We don't typically see a commissioner of a league coming out kind of like, hey, you guys are in the wrong here. It's and to do it in court is very difficult to kind of fathom too. But I mean, this is the world that we live in now, Tommy. I mean, the logic thing from Oates' position doesn't make any sense to me, because the logical thing to me is the guy has played in the G League. He's played professionally. He shouldn't be able to play.
Yeah,
and I know, but and their argument about international leagues, I think that's very, very different. There is a different level of skill. That's why those guys are playing internationally.
Well, but I think when Sankey stated this, I'm quoting from his affidavit yesterday, inconsistent application of the NCAA eligibility rules challenged in this case through court rulings or otherwise fuels disruption in college sports. The first two words are the most important to me. Inconsistent application. And that, we got to figure out what the rules are, and now we're all going to follow them. But the NCAA has been very inconsistent about what they view as inbounds and out of bounds, and that's what we got to get back as to where is the line on this. And once you cross it, there's penalties. Here's where it is: you can go and tow right up to the line. Mm-hmm. Right now, I think they've blurred everything, and as he stated, the inconsistent application. They've been all over the board on what they view as inbounds and out of bounds, not just with eligibility issues,
that's right,
enforcement of NIL. They have been the worst kind of leader in all of this, because at some points they bring a hammer down. At some points they turn a blind eye, and that's the inconsistency I think he's really talking about, far beyond just eligibility issues. It's time for the NCAA to rein some of this in.
But within eligibility, they have two different swords. It's a double-edged sword right here. They have guys that are coming back, I guess, from the G League, or guys that are technically pros getting eligibility, and then players that are exercising that COVID year and exercising all those extra years with injuries and transfers and things like that. So they've got they've got a lot to fix in terms of the eligibility, because otherwise, it will eventually just be that they'll be able to get anybody to come play. Guys that have literally played in NBA games or NFL games or MLB. So.
Yeah. All right, that's where we began. It's 10 after 9 here on a big sports weekend coming up. Arkansas plays tomorrow at 11 at Mississippi State. You got the Winter Olympics getting underway, and the Super Bowl, obviously, on Sunday, and that's where we start with our opening drive.
It's not where we start with our opening drive, unfortunately. Wow. That's not what's in the opening
Oh,
drive.
well.
But the opening drive is, Tommy, did you hear the quotes? Did you hear anything from Jeff Traylor recently about him trying
Yes.
to maybe get some money for fundraising? I just wanted to hear kind of some of your thoughts on that and what I put it in the rundown, so I'm sorry if I got a little
I just
confused.
got it.
Well, yeah. But so the opening drive, Jeff Traylor talked a little bit about how he's going to try and fundraise.
And we got to find a way to fundraise. So if you can come up with some idea, I have an idea. It sounds like East Carolina's going to copy it. I will give total access to this building at all times, 24/7, 365. We'll have a live reality TV show. If somebody will just go buy a national championship, we're just going to bet. We're going to bet on the Roadrunners. We're going to bet on the Triangle of Toughness. We're going to put down $50 million, and we're going to go buy us a national championship and have total access, live reality TV. Make your money back. I'm here for it. Somebody wants to donate.
This is the opening drive.
So I'm not an expert on anything TV. I don't watch a whole lot of reality TV. It's not my forte. It's not what I really sink my teeth into whenever I get the clicker and I turn on the television. It's not really my thing. But I do know that this is not something that is really all that foreign. This is something that could happen, but that's not really what I want to talk about. Is Jeff Traylor wrong to try and bring more eyes to UTSA?
No.
Because I feel like this is something that Arkansas and lots of other schools should be doing.
Somebody's going to do
creativity, Tommy. Creativity. That's what I want to see.
Well, I think about these guys, and I don't understand the business model, but if you've got kids, they probably know who Mr. Beast is, or they know who Ninja is, or name me some of these other internet sensations that are on, Twitch and YouTube and all these other places, and they're making a fortune. And, you tell your kids, we get off these games and quit doing this. Well, there's some of these kids that have figured it out, and they're making like millions a month. Millions from their parents' basement because they're getting enough impressions and follows, and that's how the click game works, all right? So tell me why a college football program or a college men's basketball program couldn't provide. Now, I know we got Hogs Plus and things like this behind paywalls, but if you had content that people would go watch by the millions, by the tens of millions, tell me why if if Mr. Beast, who that brand, and I don't understand it all. I know you can go places and get a Mr. Beast burger, Ninja. We got people making millions of dollars because kids are going to watch other kids play video games.
It's very lucrative business.
And they're literally making $2, $3, $4 million a month, as I understand it. Mm-hmm. Tell me why a college sports program couldn't provide some kind of content that would do, even if it's half of that. Think about the impact. I don't think this is the most far-fetched idea I've ever heard.
Well, and my point was that I think about how creative that is, to be able to truly give 24/7 unfettered access, be in there in the coaches' meetings, hear about, hey, I'm probably not going to start this guy because he sucks. I mean, all the unminced words, everything that people really truly want, that gritty, juicy content, that hard knocks type stuff. People really want that. But what I'm talking about is that's creative, that's outside of the box thinking. Like you said, we have Hogs Plus, so if we got something like that here, it'd just be kind of watered down. And they do a good job, don't get me wrong. But the creativity of going outside of the box and trying to find something that people want ties back into what we talked about earlier this week, Tommy, giving fans something to be excited about. UTSA, ECU, those schools don't have this massive, large fan base like we do here at the University of Arkansas. So they need some extra stuff, maybe some gimmicky stuff to get fans excited. But what can Arkansas do that's outside of the box that can get fans that are excited about football season?
Well, I don't have that one answer.
Well, I know, but that's what when Jeff Traylor was talking about that, that's just what I was thinking of. That's creative.
But here's the thing: could you actually make me believe it's truly unfiltered, unfettered access behind the scenes that I'm getting the real, true story? I still don't think you put cameras in rooms. Coaches aren't going to say, well, this guy sucks, I'm not starting. They're just not going to talk about it. They're not going to talk about recruiting. There's going to be rooms without cameras. So, I don't know. But I don't think this is the worst idea I've heard college sports come up with. All right, that's the opening drive this morning, brought to you by LureNet.com. We're going to be out fishing this weekend. Man, it's going to be good weather. And LureNet.com's got everything you need to reload the tackle box. If you've went through it, you're missing some weights. Maybe your rod and reel needs to be re-spooled, and you need new stuff to go with it, new line, all these things. LureNet's got what you need, and they make all their baits and all their varieties of brands, Rebel, Yum, Booyah, Bobby Garland, and a lot more, and they're all there at LureNet.com. Crappie fishing. Who doesn't want a big bunch of slabs of crappie in their freezer? That'd be a good fish fry for your Super Bowl. Go out and get some crappie for that. LureNet.com's got all the Bobby Garland varieties that you need. Monkey milk, I hear, is still the most popular. So do that. Orders over $35, get free U.S. shipping, and you can find all these brands at your local favorite tackle shops all over the place. Plus Dick's, you can also find it at Academy, Bass Pro Shops, and Walmart as well. It's all there available now at LureNet.com.
All right, well, Brandon's here. He's in place of Sean. He's been doing this for a couple weeks now, getting the hang of it, doing a really good job, honestly. We're here for our Fence Man Friday picks. Brandon, we'll get into this real quick in just a little bit, but you can get back to work now. Some of the snow has melted a little bit. There's a little bit more leeway for you to get out there. Does it have any more give after the snow, or is it harder to get into?
Sometimes it's pretty wet, so it's hard to get out to areas, but digging. It's in Arkansas. You know, we get some rock everywhere, but
that's about how it is. That's about how it is. Yeah. Well, we had some picks last week. We're going to recap right here. Then we'll get into obviously some of the stuff from this weekend. Lots of sports happening, but let's hear about how we did last week.
They host Auburn as 6.5-point home favorites.
I think Auburn's going to cover the points, but Tennessee's going to win it.
That's where I'm at.
I'm taking Auburn.
Line's not out just yet, so I'm going to put Georgia at -2.
I like Georgia in this one.
I'm definitely going to take Georgia with this one.
I'm going to also take the Bulldogs. I'm going to make Vanderbilt a 7-point home favorite.
Then give me Vandy.
And I'm also going to take Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I think Vandy will cover the points too.
Arkansas is -6.5. What do you like?
Taking Kentucky.
I am taking Kentucky.
True, I think it is going to be another tight one. I think it could be within like 5 points.
Well, at least we got one right.
Yeah, I heard some good, but mostly some bad in there, fellas. But we got some.
It's the Super Bowl week, so we got to do better. We got to pick it up this week.
We do have to be a little bit better this week. We're going to start.
Baby needs a new pair of shoes.
Baby needs a new. My baby actually does need some new pairs of shoes. He doesn't really wear them, but he only has a couple, and he likes to kick them off. And we've already lost a couple. So we'll start right here with the one that I'm sure everybody's interested in this weekend: Arkansas at Mississippi State, 11 a.m. in Starkville on ESPN2. Fellas, who do we like in this one? We're just going to go straight up in this one. No money line, nothing like that. Who do you like, Arkansas or Mississippi State?
I don't think this could be an easy game. The idea that you're just going to roll into sleepy little Starkville and come out with a 20-point win, to me, is just naive. So I'm going to go with the Razorbacks, but I think it's like a 3-point game.
Okay. Brandon, who do you got in this one, man?
Oh, of course I'm going with the Hogs, you know what I mean?
Of course.
But I think we can get them by at least 5.
Yeah.
I like you, Brandon. You really don't pick against the Hogs ever.
I can't,
I
man.
appreciate that. I
Can't.
appreciate that.
Whoopee.
I'm going to go with the Razorbacks as well. I think they get things back on track, and I think they're just a little bit more high-powered than Mississippi State can handle. Alabama and Auburn, an Iron Bowl on the hardwood, 3 p.m. on ESPN2. Auburn is at home, and they are favored by 1.5. Brandon, we'll start with you. You like Crimson Tide or the Auburn Tigers?
Give me Auburn and the points.
Auburn and the points. Tommy, how about you?
I'll take Alabama in this game.
I was thinking Alabama as well. I saw them play against Texas A&M the other night. They looked really, really good. And when they're hitting on all cylinders, they're pretty good. So I'm going to take Alabama in that one as well. Also in the SEC at 7:30 on Saturday night, Kentucky and Tennessee. This is a big rivalry there. Kentucky is favored at home by 1.5 points. I'll start right here. I am going to say that Tennessee comes into Rupp Arena and takes care of the Wildcats in this one.
I'll take Kentucky. They've kind of hit their stride. They got it figured out, and I don't think the win last weekend hurt. So they played Oklahoma in one big midweek. I'll take the Wildcats.
Yeah, it was a big boost for Kentucky. I think they're going to cover the points too.
All right, so you two got Kentucky. I'm sticking with the Orange there and the Volunteers of Tennessee. And then, of course, the big event of the weekend, Super Bowl 60, Patriots and Seahawks. It's a rematch of that one Super Bowl where Pete Carroll should have just given the ball to Marshawn Lynch. But nonetheless, 5:30 on Sunday on NBC, the Seattle Seahawks and Sam Darnold, Mike McDonald, favored up there by 4.5 points. Tommy, who do you like in this one, Patriots or Seahawks?
I like the Patriots. I like the Patriots in this game.
Yeah, I can't go with the Patriots. I think Seahawks. I think it's going to end differently than the rematch or than the first time they played in 14.
A little comeuppance there for the team.
They're going to run it on the goal line this time.
They're going to run it on the goal line this time. If it comes down
I'm going with Hunter Henry. I'm going to go with the Patriots.
All right, so Tommy takes the Patriots. Brandon's got the Seahawks. I've also got the Seahawks in this one. I saw Tom Brady rip my team apart too many times, and just the logo, just the Patriot logo, just pisses me off. So I'm not picking that one ever. I probably never will. Give me the Seahawks in that one. I think they win by at least a touchdown. I think this is a big moment for Sam Darnold. He definitely proves all the haters wrong, and it's not his fault. It's the fact that the NFL has multiple franchises that don't know how to develop quarterbacks. And Sam Darnold's going to be the poster child for that one. And the Seahawks defense. But I'll take the Seahawks defense in that one, and that is your Fence Man Friday picks.
All right, 782-3936 is the number. Brandon and his team are there. You still running the 10% off offer?
We are right now. It's still going on right now.
I didn't know if y'all had extended that because of the weather, but still a great time to save some money on your fence.
Yes,
and
sir.
I know we're in February, but it's still the beginning of the year for a lot of folks.
Right now is the best time to get a hold of us, get on the schedule early before that springtime rush comes in. We're just a few weeks out right now, so give me a call and I can take care of you.
All right, so your website, thefencemanar.com, you can see pictures of all kinds of work. Probably a lot of people have never heard of aluminum fencing, but I know Sean has told me y'all do a lot of this because never rots, never fades.
Yes, sir.
It can be customized to any kind of build.
There's so
trim.
many kinds.
I mean, you can make it look. Basically, you can make it vertical, horizontal. You can do a lot of things with the aluminum fencing.
Yeah, I've quoted several of them this week, so yeah, we can do that for you. Give me a call and I'll get you some nice.
What would be the lifetime on one of those?
I'd have to. I can't. Don't get me lying on the actual.
Far better than wood.
Way better than wood.
Way better than wood. So probably worth the premium there. 782-3936 is the number. 479-782-3936, and just call before Sunday at 5:30, right?
Yeah.
No calls accepted from 5:30 to 10 p.m. on Sunday with the Fence Man. All right.
You can call me personally.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
There
I'll
you
take
go.
it.
782-30. Oh, we're kidding. They'd return your call.
You would.
782-3936 for the Fence Man. What's your favorite Super Bowl party food item?
Got to be the wings, right?
The wings. There you go.
You a hot wing guy? Or are you
I'm a
more
buffalo
like
wing
buffalo
guy.
wing? Okay, so classic buffalo.
Blue cheese or ranch?
Ranch, of course.
Okay, good. We might have had to kick you out if you.
Yeah, no blue cheese in here, man.
Yeah, it's got to be good blue cheese though, with buffalo flavored wings.
Oh,
all right, Brandon. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you next Friday.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's our Fence Man Friday picks. 782-3936 or thefencemanAR.com.
Action-packed fastball, football, fast break Friday here on the Morning Rush. Hog update coming up next.
Fastbreak Friday brought to you by QC Kinetics in Bentonville. Get back to living your life.
Steal by the Razorbacks, knocks to the other end, and a throwdown.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Cold plunges, gratitude journals, screen detoxes. How do you know what actually works? With a 4.9-star rating from over 1.7 million client reviews, you're in good hands with BetterHelp. Talk with real qualified therapists, not AI. Wellness shouldn't be overwhelming, and therapists can help figure out what's best for you. And yeah, it might involve a screen detox. Visit BetterHelp.com/score for 10% off your first month. This is an ad by BetterHelp. Cold plunges, gratitude journals, screen detoxes. How do you know what actually works? With a 4.9-star rating from over 1.7 million client reviews, you're in good hands with BetterHelp. Talk with real qualified therapists, not AI. Wellness shouldn't be overwhelming, and therapists can help figure out what's best for you. And yeah, it might involve a screen detox. Visit BetterHelp.com/score for 10% off your first month.
Yesterday I said that we don't apologize here.
This is the Morning Rush.
Basketballs bounce, cheerleaders cheer, and fans are flocking to the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their color matching. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their help with color selection. The paint store in Van Buren shares their expert advice from 35 years of experience. If you haven't been to the paint store in Van Buren, you are missing out. How about you give them a shout next time you need some real-life help you can't get on YouTube?
With 10 extravagant indulgences for $3 or less, Taco Bell's new Lutz value menu makes you feel Lutz. As their official Lutziers, I help when it makes you feel too Lutz. Like when you eat the delectable new mini taco salad, you don't need a mini taco salad fork. The fork that comes with the bag is fine. Just like the beefy potato loaded griller isn't bruleed, it's grilled. Just as good though. Try Taco Bell's new Lutz value menu for $3 or less today. At participating Taco Bell stores while supplies last. Price of participation varies. Tax extra.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Wave Rural Connect has some exciting news. Our service is now available in a brand new zone covering parts of Midland and Montreal. If you're along Highway 45, 252 or 253, or on Douglas Road or Slaytonville Road, you can get fast, reliable fiber internet today. Don't miss out. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect. Internet that works when you need it most.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-5151. That's 800-885-5151. Again, that's 800-885-5151.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Come on, Pete.
Gage Wood, no hits him. Allen has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Go Hog.
Bobby Portis Jr. is coaching for Eating America Eastern Wisconsin CB&J Challenge.
We need more jelly. We need more jelly.
The goal, 1 million sandwiches for kids facing hunger.
Let's keep going. There's got to be a faster way.
That was Bobby Portis for Feed America's Eastern Wisconsin Challenge. He's helping with generating, funds and support and charitable donations, trying to feed 1 million peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to the kids of Eastern Wisconsin. Just a quick question here, Tommy. PB&J, acceptable Super Bowl party dish. Could you bring just a mess of PB&Js? Would that be okay with you?
That would not be maybe for the kids table.
Yeah.
Maybe for the kids table.
I like a good PB&J.
I don't think PB&J would go with buffalo wings.
I like a good PB&J. I'd be.
That ad wasn't quite. It had a little bit of Ed Orgeron, promoting Hummers kind of sound to it, little feel to it. But I think the ad was probably better than Coach O for Baton Rouge Hummer or whatever it was back in the day.
It's better in video form.
No, it was in not Baton Rouge. That was over in Mississippi. Somewhere.
Well, it's better in video form.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny this morning. And obviously, when you see his funny face and those eyes up there, and he's a good little actor too. So that was a funny video. But here in your Hog Update this morning, there are 4 Razorbacks. Including Ryder Helfrich, Camden Koschel, both named to your first team. Kuhio Aloy and Gabe Gackel earned preseason All-SEC honors from the league's 16 head coaches. Arkansas's 4 preseason coaches All-SEC selections are its most since 2021. They've had placed at least 2 players on the preseason coaches All-SEC teams in 9 consecutive seasons. They were also picked 4th. They're also picked to finish 4th in the league. Baseball starting 1 week from today.
Yeah, pretty
Tommy,
excited. I know Phil's trying to get over being under the weather.
I know.
So that he said get it out. I saw him post this, get it out of the way before the season starts.
Mm-hmm.
But I know for the hardcore fans, it's Christmas next Friday.
That's absolutely right. And the only downside is, this is my beef earlier this past week. It's been my beef forever. Only thing is just to watch these first couple games where you're playing marquee opponents in an awesome MLB stadium. Yep. You got to fork over $49.99 or get the free thing and hope you forget to do it for Flow Sports.
One of these days, that'd be a fun trip to go on.
It would be really fun because they do a good job. It's become really a staple of the college baseball season as you kick it off with good teams down there at one of the best ballparks in the United States.
So next Friday, if you haven't pulled up the schedule or committed it to memory, Oklahoma State next Friday on the 13th. What could go wrong on Friday the 13th? 7 p.m. Is the scheduled time for that game with Oklahoma State. TCU on Saturday. They're ranked 10th in the country. That's also at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll wrap up their time at Arlington with Texas Tech at 2:30 on that Sunday. And then Monday, they actually have a game Monday against Tarleton State too. So 4-game stretch down there. But those are the 3 marquee names: Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, then Tarleton State on Monday to wrap it all up from Arlington.
Yeah, it should be fun, and that's a good way to get your
home
season
opener,
started.
by the way, the 20th, the following Friday, the 20th, 3 o'clock against Xavier. So that'll be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series.
Yeah, that'll be it for your Hog Update, Tommy.
All right, that's the Hog Updates brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. They are the place to go. Have you been involved in a traffic accident, car wreck, maybe on the ice and snowy roads a week or so ago? Give Jackie a call. She can work through that, work with the insurance companies, whether you are the one at fault or whether or not the other party was ticketed, make sure that you're legally represented. If you were injured, you definitely want Jackie to work with you and get through this. She's got over 14 years of experience with car wrecks, slip and fall cases, family law, and many other areas. But car wrecks is one area, and personal injury is one area she really specializes in. 479-769-1505. They also understand you don't have to, not everybody's got a big retainer. Not everybody can pay for it all at once. They have monthly fees. They also have flat fees you can understand. And in personal injury cases, they'll take care of that with no win, no fee. 479-769-1505. Or go to mocklegalsolutions.com, licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma. It's Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions.
Well, one of the things you got to do to take better care of yourself is to eat better food. I don't think I'm going to be doing any of that this weekend during the Super Bowl, but you also got to take good care of your car. And at the Meineke Car Care Center, where our friend Larry Rath joins us from now, you can do that literally all the time, can't you, Larry?
Absolutely. We really take care of everything. It's total car care right here in one place. So anything, a check engine light, a problem that you know about that you can't find somebody to fix, oil changes, tires, brakes, batteries, specials all the time. Buy three, get one free on tires. We've got that going on. Half off brakes, a big promotion. We've got really easy financing back there in the Meineke Car Care Center too. So if you're needing to take care of your car, and after all this weather and the winter and whatever, you're getting ready for spring and some trips, great time to come in and take care of your car. It's a great time to trade as well. We've got a big inventory, Rath Road Ready certified vehicles, and we've been stocking up all winter. It's a huge inventory, cars, trucks, SUVs, whatever you're looking for. We're bound to have one that's just right for you, particularly if you're looking for something, less than $25,000, something that's going to save you some money and be easy to make a payment on. We've got those. Great selection right now. Also, the new Mitsubishis up in Springdale, we're really excited about 0% for 72 months on the Mitsubishi Outlander. It's a terrific vehicle. If you haven't driven it, or you don't know anything about it, come check it out. Take the Mitsubishi Challenge, take a test drive, see what you think. More car for your money, plus the best warranty you can possibly get, and some 0% for 72 months. So just a great time to check out Mitsubishi or any one of our Road Ready certified pre-owned vehicles, or take care of the car you have in the Meineke Car Care Center. We'll do it all for you. Rath Auto Resources in the Meineke Car Care Center in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in the Meineke Car Care Center in Springdale. Check us out online, rathauto.com.
You heard the man. That's Larry Rath right there. Larry, appreciate you stopping by and talking to us, my man. You got any big plans for Super Bowl Sunday? What are you doing, real quick?
I'm going to recline and stuff my face.
That sounds like a good plan, Larry. We appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good day. Thanks.
All right, Larry Rath, Rath Auto Resources. All right, we got the Morning Rush question of the day. That's coming up. And getting ready for a big weekend. Hogs tomorrow, right here where you're listening, 11 a.m., Colton, for the tip-off.
Should be a good one. Hogs and Dogs tomorrow. This is the Morning Rush.
It's Fast Break Friday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by QC Kinetics. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
Ahead to Billy Richmond for a one-hand slam.
This college football moment is brought to you by Serve Pro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24th, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
Serve Pro. Like it never even happened.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
I mean, today they all did some awesome stuff, and they all did stuff that pissed me off.
This is the Morning Rush.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a Road Ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of Road Ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and back-to-back comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Mark your calendars and save big at the Greater River Valley RV Show going on February 12th through the 16th at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Special show pricing and financing available on all units, new or used. Come and see our large inventory of industry-leading brands such as Grand Design and Forest River. Take advantage of the huge savings at the Greater River Valley RV Show at Crabtree RV Center, February 12th through the 16th. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
DraftKings Sportsbook is making every snap, every drive, every moment of Super Bowl 60 count with DraftKings Live Millions. Open the app, opt in, and get your promo token. Place a live bet of $1 or more on the Super Bowl, and you're in. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code UNSPORTSMANLIKE. That's code UNSPORTSMANLIKE. Bet live for your share of $5 million in prizes with code UNSPORTSMANLIKE. In partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Minimum odds minus 500. Prizes either bonus bets or single-use 20% profit boost. Max bet $20 that expire in 30 days. See official rules at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos for entry period and free method of entry. Sponsored by Crown Gaming, Inc.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu!
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at CarpathSocial.com.
Do we find out who the best of the SEC is tomorrow? Texas A&M plays at Florida. Are these the best two teams, and is the winner of that game the best in the league right now? That's our Morning Rush Daily Question. I think it's a pivotal weekend. You got that game. You got Arkansas playing Mississippi State. You got Kentucky and Tennessee. I think it's a pivotal weekend. But I think that A&M Florida game is going to go a long ways in deciding here at the halfway point and kind of getting past it into the second half where we're at with this league. So is the winner of that game the best team in the league?
Well, I think that it'd be hard to argue that they're not. I mean, Florida has been obviously the most impressive. They're the defending national champions, but Texas A&M has been kind of a pleasant surprise to a lot of people. They weren't picked, I don't think, to finish in the top half of the league. I know they have a new coach in Bucky McMillan, and he's come in there and kind of re-energized their fan base and made that basketball team very fun to watch. They played a great game against Alabama the other night and didn't come out on top, so they're 7-2 right now in the league. But that Florida team, man, it'd be hard to argue there's any other two teams that would be better than them. So you could probably slot the winner of that game at 1 and then the loser of that game at 2. But I don't think that there's still a lot of basketball left to be played. Right. And so I feel like Arkansas can still find their way some way into that conversation if I'm being optimistic. But you haven't played either one of those two teams yet. You get one at home and one on the road. This weekend definitely is a big one because you also have Kentucky and Tennessee. But I don't...
Who did get into a little kerfuffle after the game last time. Yeah. So I think this is going to be a, pretty interesting. That'd be interesting to watch tomorrow, just based on how they went after each other, following that game earlier in the year.
Yeah, but I mean, Arkansas, what they have to do is just continue to figure out ways to not drop games on the road and win the ones that they're supposed to, because you've got the final stretch of games coming up. You're halfway done with your conference slate. We mentioned it earlier today, Tommy. You really can't afford to be. You can't afford to lose too many of your home games. I mean, any of them left, to be honest with you.
A&M's at 7-2, as is Florida, so this will decide league supremacy. Mm-hmm. Kentucky at 7-3 and Arkansas at 6-3 is a full game back. Kentucky in between at a half game back. You win this game at Mississippi State tomorrow, you're no worse than second in the league.
Yeah,
you're going to be tied for second, but you're going to be in second place position going into your final 8 games. So. Take care of business, and you play LSU next Tuesday night, and you got a really good chance to, start separating yourself. The 2, 3, and 4 loss teams. I'm still amazed at how Georgia's fallen off here in recent times. But yeah, I think the winner of that game, and I still find it interesting that A&M leading this league has not gotten the love from the pollsters or the respect. Still an unranked team. And surely if they beat Florida, they'll climb into somebody's top 25 poll.
Yeah, then that's one of the worst parts about this college basketball, about all of this, is there's so many people that they want the game to be played on spreadsheets where it's your strength of schedule and your tour and what are all these different metrics that they measure teams by. And at the end of the year, they really count wins and losses. I mean, that's really kind of one of the bigger things that they look at. It's how good you are. And I know that, people are falling in love with the University of Miami at Ohio, the Redhawks, who are undefeated right now, but they have a 300-something ranked strength of schedule. So, I mean, people are going to love them. They'll be in the tournament, but that's one of the big reasons why A&M is not ranked. They hardly played anybody in their non-conference schedule. They were playing, every Texas Division II school and, feeder school they could find, and that's good to get your confidence up. And obviously it worked for the Aggies. They were undefeated for a long time, and they had, they were undefeated in the SEC for a long time. So that's a team that, look, I would prefer them not come into Arkansas and kick your butt playing in the same style that all of us love to watch so much.
All right, that's your Morning Rush Daily Questions brought to you by Cart Pass Social, Northwest Arkansas's #1 destination for indoor golf. They are getting ready for a big March Madness coming up. It's going to be a big Sunday with the Super Bowl on. 10 TVs, so it's the perfect place to watch the game and enjoy some indoor golf. Their second annual Masters Invitational starts in just over a month, so you want to be a part of that, and you get to play the Georgia Golf Club on there, and it's identical to Augusta. Really, really like playing that one on the simulator. It's a whole lot of fun, and it's a BYOB establishment, so they have basic snacks and beverages available for sale, but you're always more than welcome to bring your own food in to eat. You can also bring your own beers or seltzers and have a good time with your group at Cart Path Social. So get online, make your reservations. You can book that securely through their website, cartpathsocial.com. That's cartpathsocial.com, or see them for yourself and what it's all about at Cart Path Social at 122 Grant Place in Lowell.
So we talked about the calendar earlier this week, and we've talked about it on and off just over the end of this for college football. And we talked about how there's no games on New Year's Eve. And there's a little nugget that I saw that really kind of just cements how messed up these dates are. Saturday, November 14th, which is week 11, Tommy, that marks the mathematical halfway point between week 1 and the title game. So week 1, so week 1 and the title game, halfway between that is the middle of November. How does that work out? How can they fix the schedule and get all these things in line, because it doesn't make any sense to me how this can be a sustainable model. They've got to fix their schedule. They've got to fix eligibility. I mean, it's getting ridiculous how many things they seem to be very, very, very dumb handling.
And it's about setting it up for TV, but it's also about preserving the bowls. This is about the Rose Bowl. This is about the Orange Bowl. This is about the 6 bowls that includes the Cotton Bowl as well, the 6 bowls that are aligned with the quarterfinals and the semifinals of college football's playoffs. The Rose Bowl is, by God, going to have their game January 1. You're going to see the sun set on the San Gabriel Mountains, whether you like it or not.
Whether it rains or not, yeah.
And I don't know whether it's you expand the field, you push you push it to where you're down to your quarters and semis, or your semifinals for that New Year's weekend. That's what we're pivoting off of. And right now, those are the quarterfinals. So it's all about, you ask why we're doing this, it's about the bowls. And the game has been forever aligned with the big bowls, and it was really a handful of 3 or 4, and now it's about 6 bowls that seem to control it, but the Rose is at the center of it all. And until they're willing to move their event and not have it firmly aligned on January 1, and they've had a little wiggle room but not consistent, until that happens, the game is where it's at. And you kind of work the calendar and you work it backwards. Expanding the field is going to be the only way, and that way you continue to play. But at what point, Indiana was 16-0 this year?
Yes.
Are we going to have a 17-0 national champion, an 18-0 national champion, or a team, even if they're not undefeated? Are we going to have a national champion and a runner-up that's played in 18 games? Is that where we want the game? Because I think clearly the buys are on the chopping block. They're gone. Whenever they can reformat this and the Big Ten and the SEC can agree, I think everybody agrees the first-round buys have been bad for the product. So I think they're going to get rid of those, and that's going to add a game to your top 4 teams, and we'll go from there. But I think when expansion happens, the key thing to watch is what happens with those bowls, and does the Rose Bowl continue to get its way?
Yeah, but ultimately, I think that you're right. Is they kind of have to just wait and see what television says. And television, they can't be. They can't bite the hand that feeds them with television, because television has been feeding them. I don't know. You sent me this report this morning. The SEC is distributing more than $1 billion to its schools for 2024 through 2025. It's more than $200 million. $200 million more than the previous year. And that includes $37.4 million retained by schools that participated in college football playoff and those bowl games that you mentioned too. So they can't be too eager to say, we don't need the bowls, because you do.
This is what they signed up for.
Yeah,
this is what they signed up for. So, and those are the venues that I still think have deep roots of the game that they need to play at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And they built these stadiums. You can't build that stadium in Atlanta and then not play there. And I know it's the home of the Falcons, but it wasn't built just for the Falcons to play. Nor was the one in Miami that hosts the Orange Bowl. Nor did Jerry build the Cotton Bowl, or Cowboy Stadium that hosts the Cotton Bowl. These facilities weren't built, and the money wasn't invested to not play these games there. So they're going to continue to play the Fiesta Bowl there in Glendale. I mean, because the money was invested by the stakeholders to make that happen. That's part of the promise that they made. And honestly, it's a good time for TV because people are off work. People can watch. And they're drawing, tens of millions of people to watch it. Football Friday brought to you by QC Kinetics right here in Northwest Arkansas. 479-999-1234 is their number. Over 40,000 people have found relief with QC Kinetics. 40,000. They can't all be wrong. Truth is, surgery isn't always the answer. And QC Kinetics will look at your x-rays, look at your MRI, and give you some lasting relief with in-office treatments that help you avoid surgery, drugs, and downtime. 479-999-1234 for QC Kinetics.
Got to play it. It's customary. Winter Olympics starting soon. Curling, figure skating, hockey, alpine skiing. Which one of those, if you could go back, would a young Tommy Kraft like to invest all of his time in to try and make it to the Olympic stage?
Alpine skiing would be, I just think that's a really cool sport. I love the men's downhill, but I love the ski jumping. Where they come down that ramp and they got to hold their body just at the correct angle, and they launch themselves down the hill. I love watching that. And it's like NASCAR. We watch for the wrecks. I mean, the wrecks are the Wide World of Sports intro with remember the skier? You may not remember it, but flipping down the hill. I mean, we watch the downhill skiing for the wrecks. My wife watches the figure skating. I guess that's the gymnastics of the Winter Olympics. But when is the opening ceremonies?
It's today.
Tonight?
Today. Yeah, it's today. So, I mean, the opening ceremonies get kicked off, and there's your Winter Olympics. You mentioned the skiing right there. Tommy, did you see that they're investigating claims that there are ski jumpers at the Olympics that are injecting acid into a place where you probably wouldn't want to ever inject anything? You seen those reports?
I have not seen these reports. It sounds like I don't want to.
Well, they're apparently injecting them into, to improve performance on their jump. Acid. I don't know.
Was it? I mean, okay.
Hyaluronic.
What does it do for you? I mean, what edge are you gaining? Does it make you less fearful, or?
Well, I really didn't get that far. I read the headline. Thought that would be enough. That would be enough. I mean, but I think the psychological.
Who was the first one on this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who was the first one that said, you know what, I'm going to give this a try? Yeah. I don't know if it'll work.
I wouldn't have been the first in line.
But I'm willing to try.
No, sir.
That's a courageous man right there, is what that is. APAC and Standard Materials Group, they can help you with any job, big or small. If you need ready-mix concrete, these are the experts. Their mix and the way they go about all the variables that go into it is second to none. Their service, second to none. And they've got all the aggregates that you need to complete the job you're working on. Sand, rock, gravel, asphalt, ready-mix concrete. They've got their own quarry, so they can get you what you need to make your job go. 479-587-3300 is the number. 587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
All right, we put it off long enough. Big basketball game this weekend. Jackson Collier from Hogbeat here to help us out next hour on the Morning Rush.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of Beef. Itswhatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right, pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fifth Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory. We're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and backed-by comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
10 years ago, True Grit Running Company opened its doors with one simple goal: to help people move better, feel stronger, and find their stride. Today, we're celebrating 10 years of True Grit. Join us all year long for anniversary events, group runs, limited edition gear, and plenty of surprises as we kick off 2026. Whether you're chasing a finish line or just starting your journey, thank you for being part of our story. True Grit Running Company, 10 years strong, built by runners.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of blue sky, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low 60s north, low 70s south. Mainly clear sky tonight, and overnight low upper 20s north, mid 30s south. And then Saturday, lots of blue sky and sunshine, a high in the low to mid 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor. Located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. Broadcasting live from the Busch Light Studios. This is The Morning Rush. This hour of The Morning Rush is powered by Busch Light. Busch Light, the coldest and smoothest light lager there is.
The Super Bowl, the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl, the most hallowed ground of professional football.
Price hit to start the second half, and the ball is off the hands of the clock, and it looks like the Saints had it for a second. Inside the 5-yard line for a first down. Is he only 37? How important is this football game? You know that you have to protect against James Harris. On that play, he played like he was going to rush a passer, and he dropped back into the lane. And then made this one unbelievable. Kick up. Kick is on the way, and it is good. It's good. It's good. It's a 48-yard field goal, and the game is over. It is caught by Dyson. Can he get in? No, he cannot. Edelman comes down with a football that's in at the catch. Tyree had Harrison all over him. The ball was on his helmet, but he got his other hand on it, pulled it in.
Live from the Bush Light Studios with Colton Little and Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
The biggest football game of the year set to kick off Sunday. NBC at 5:30. Tommy, what's the very first Super Bowl that you remember watching? For me, it was in 2005 season, 2006 Super Bowl, the Seahawks and the Steelers. I only remember it. I was like 6 years old. I only remember it very vividly because Matt Hasselbeck was called for unnecessary roughness at some point, and that made my dad lose his mind. So I just remember him getting up and screaming. What's the first Super Bowl you remember watching?
You may know the Super Bowl number, but I can tell you it was Dan Marino and the Dolphins. They played the 49ers.
Okay, that would have been an 84 Super Bowl, 85 year.
Okay, I've been 8 or 9 years old, and I remember there was a kid about my age from Fort Smith that Make-A-Wish had granted a wish, and he got to go to the game. That's the first one I remember. I vividly remember and was very in tune with the 85 Chicago Bears.
Yeah, Super Bowl Shuffle, baby.
And the Super Bowl Shuffle. I had the T-shirt and just loved watching William Refrigerator Perry run that ball. See the big fella run the ball from the backfield. So that would be they just smacked the Patriots. Just smacked them. That's 40 years ago. So I was probably 8, 9 years old probably when I remember my first one. So probably about the normal age of what I would remember. So, but yeah, and then somebody will be making that first memory on Sunday when the Seahawks play the Patriots. Football Friday is brought to you by QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. Hey, patients who thought they were out of options in surgery, pain pills, downtime, rehab, not being able to do the things you love, were all lost. But moving better quickly, hurting less, and getting your life back is something QC Kinetics can offer you without the surgery, without the drugs, without the downtime. It worked for me. I had a shoulder that was bothering me and had to watch what you're doing, couldn't play golf the way I wanted. QC Kinetics in a matter of weeks had me up and going again like it never happened before. They can help you too, and they're right here in Northwest Arkansas. 479-999-1234. 999-1234 for QC Kinetics. Find out what 40,000 people have figured out, and they can't be wrong. Say yes to pain relief and no to surgery. Do your research and then call QC Kinetics 479-999-1234. 1234.
All right, it's a football fast break, kind of a fastball Friday too.
Yeah.
Here
It's all converging here.
Yeah, it's all converging. Really, kind of those only one day a year. You can really say that here on the Morning Rush. You can call us in Texas on the Lewis Automotive Hotline 877-377-6963. We're going to hear from Jackson Collier from Hogbeat, really knowledgeable on the Arkansas Razorback basketball team. We're going to hear from him in just a few minutes. But before we do that, Kevin has called us first. Hear from Rogers. I imagine he wants to talk a little basketball too here. Good morning, Kevin.
Hey,
You're on the Morning
Kevin.
Rush with me and Tommy. How's it going, bud? Kevin, you there?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm
Good morning,
cutting in
Kevin.
and out on my... How you doing, Tommy?
Hey, good morning, Kevin.
All right, there we go. Hey, I was gonna... Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you the Super Bowl. I mean, I'll watch it. Somebody asked me how to bet on it the other day, and I said, I haven't been in this region. I said, I didn't even know the Seahawks were playing well, to be honest with you. I mean, so I kind of just dipped out, and just watched the game. It should be exciting, and, I just hope that it's a close game, and it should be, guess a root for the Patriots because of Hunter Henry. That's kind of the way I'm going.
Kind of where I'm at.
And so, but I just have a comment about this whole Nate Oates. He seems like the John Brady of that era. You remember him, Tommy? He was always kind of a complainer, and the rules are the rules. I mean, Colton's right. I mean, and if you read Bediako's statement in court, he admitted that he gave up his eligibility. I mean, he admitted it. I mean, I read it last night. It's public record.
Yeah, I wonder how we bent and broke so many rules following COVID in the hope for fairness, that it was unfair to these athletes in the lost season, and I get all that. But it's like we've never gotten over bending and stretching the rules from the COVID era to allow more eligibility, to allow, now, and then NIL and transfer portal, all that came at the same time. It's like we haven't gotten over this appetite for stretching every rule out of some sense of fairness. And the only thing I can trace it back to is we come through COVID and a worldwide disaster, and we try to equalize everything for everybody. And when do we stop that? Because we still have that mindset in college sports.
Well, the thing is, I mean, and I appreciate how the angle that you're taking. I mean, I do, because I typically agree with you 100%. And you're right, it is a mess, but still the rules,
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean,
there's no rules anymore. We just find a reason to break the rules now, out of some sense of fairness that doesn't exist.
The foreign players can play over here if they haven't signed a contract.
Yeah.
I mean, and if they don't, they can play over here. That's the rule. As long as their compensation is using for expenses. That's why they want to come over here. Plus, they haven't even been in college yet. They're just playing for club teams. You know that. Mm-hmm. I mean, Bediako and the other, it's not working out for them anyway. They're 2-2 since he's been on the floor.
Well, and if Alabama's season, Kevin, had been started and was going the way they had planned, do you think they'd have had Bediako come in and join this team? This was about trying to save this season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just my take. I'm kind of with Cal and everybody. I mean, when you know and you say, I'm foregoing my eligibility to enter the draft, and you sign either with an agent, it's just like Carter Knox. He didn't sign with an agent. He knew the rules. He came back. I mean, those are the rules, and I just go off. That's how I look at that.
Right.
I get that he's sticking up for his player, and I appreciate that. But, I mean, it's not, he's always in the middle of something. I mean, he hasn't.
Yeah. Kevin, thanks for the call. You bring up a good point there with Carter Knox, because you know who this is unfair to as much as anyone? All the people like Carter Knox who did follow the rules and what they were. That didn't take, door B over here on, Monty Hall and let's make a deal. And they stuck with what they had. They followed the rules. They kept themselves between the lines, so they had all their options. And that's really the people that I think are disenfranchised the most out of this, are the people that did it right. And now we're going to allow someone that didn't do it right the same access and the same privilege to those that did follow the rules. It makes zero sense to me.
Doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. I don't know if Jackson Collier, who joins us now here from Hogbeat. Jackson, I know that you had some reaction to Nate Oates' comments and some of the Charles Bediako mess that we've seen unfolding here in the SEC and in college basketball. I know you had some thoughts on that. Just what do you make of these recent statements from not only Greg Sankey but Nate Oates and just everything that's going on with the eligibility and Bediako in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, well, first, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate y'all reaching out. Really excited to talk some Arkansas basketball, but the whole Bediako situation is incredibly ridiculous to me. I think it's ludicrous. The statements that are being released and the things that Nate Oates said, like I think it was yesterday on the Field of 68, they released a clip where Nate Oates essentially said, Charles is no different than the European pros coming back into college basketball, and he essentially tried to make like a patriotic stand for Charles breaking a long upheld NCAA rule, and that is if you leave college athletics early and then the deadline to withdraw from your professional draft passes and you sign an agent, that has been long upheld. Your eligibility is done. I know there's the whole argument from people on Alabama's side, whether that's their attorney, Darren Heitner, Bediako's attorney, or it's the Alabama coaching staff. It's like, oh, well, the NCAA rules are arbitrary. That's a slippery slope in and of itself, because if you start arguing that NCAA rules that have long been upheld are arbitrary, then you can just argue that any rule is arbitrary. You could argue the shot clock's arbitrary. You could argue 10 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever rule you want to be arguing is arbitrary, because at that point you're arguing something that has been long upheld. So I think the argument that Alabama's presenting is ludicrous. I think the false equivalency that Nate Oates is presenting as completely it's wrong. It's a false equivalency. So I don't approve of it. I think it's bad for college athletics. I think it's bad for the sport, and I think it says a lot that the conference commissioner took a stand with the NCAA opposite of one of his own teams.
Yeah, and I think ultimately they'll side with the points that Sankey made in that affidavit. And then what do you tell A&M, who lost to Alabama in a game that Charles Bediako played 19 minutes and scored 5 points? A&M loses that game earlier this week, 100-97. I don't know that the league and the NCAA will go as far as reversing the outcome of the games that he played in, but it's really unfair to a school like Texas A&M, who's having somewhat of a historic season. And Jackson, that score is ultimately going to stand. That's going to be a loss for A&M, but I'm not saying Bediako was the difference in the game, but he scored 5 in a game that came down to a 3-point outcome.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's something they're not going to be able to reverse. I don't think there's any way they could possibly ever do that because he's playing under the order of a TRO, so that kind of usurps NCAA guidelines, which I hate that we're in that whole realm of using court orders to usurp NCAA guidelines in an NCAA sanctioned event, but that's where we are. There's no way to reverse it. Don't know what anybody can say other than my bad or sorry. Like, it is what it is, and it's unfortunate for Texas A&M because they have a good ball club. They played a heck of a game, and who knows what the outcome would have been, but that's kind of the point, is you can't play the game, go back and play the same game and just remove Bediako from the equation. Yeah. Alabama could have still won, but we don't know that.
We'll get to Arkansas and Mississippi State in a game that Arkansas gets back on track after a midweek bye here in just a minute. But I was making the point before you came on with one of our callers that it just feels like since we went through COVID and we tried to stretch everything we could to make it fair for those that had to live through that, and in a world that was upside down for a year and a half or more, we've never stopped trying to stretch every inch of this, and it's like there's this appetite now to just to change every rule, to make eligibility unlimited. We've taken NIL and what was supposed to be a way for players to earn money on their name, image, likeness in their own markets, and if they were a superstar, maybe it would stretch beyond that. Now we've turned it into pay for play. It's just we can't get over this appetite we have to make everything 10 times bigger and 10 times more unbalanced than it was intended to be.
No, 100%. And I think part of the issue with the whole eligibility process and the issues that keep getting brought up, it started out with, oh, well, I didn't get to play in the NCAA tournament, or I didn't get to play in a bowl game because of COVID. Cool, so you get a year. Well, now you have the whole waiver process. I'm pretty sure has been in place for a while, but, there was no real clarity on how waivers were being approved or denied. You had similar situations, and I think that's part of the argument in the Bediako situation as far as the arbitrary goes. Like, we didn't get a whole lot of transparency on some of the waiver processes. And then, like you said, once somebody took an inch on gaining a little bit of freedom, then they kind of tried to take a mile. Now you have an issue where players who have played in the NBA, who've signed NBA or G League contracts, trying to come back to college. There's a player who has NBA minutes is visiting Grand Canyon, Amari Bailey. I don't think anybody is against making things fair for college athletes or making things where they have somewhat of freedom. But I think there was no real approach to the middle ground. It was an inch, and then a mile, and now we're just so far gone. I think it's going to be really difficult to try to reel this whole thing in, and I don't know if it can be brought back in.
All right, tomorrow, 11 o'clock, Arkansas back at it in SEC play. A week ago tomorrow, they lost to Kentucky. A win with Florida and A&M playing tomorrow, a win would give Arkansas at least some share of second place in this league with just 3 losses. How do you see this game tomorrow? It's a Mississippi State team that doesn't have a great record, but they got a really good guard in Josh Hubbard. I don't think this is going to be an easy win for the Hogs, Jackson.
No, I don't think it's going to be easy either because, number one, Arkansas always struggles at Mississippi State. Mm-hmm. Seems like for as long as I can remember, good Arkansas teams have gone in and lost to bad Mississippi State teams on the road. Hopefully that's not the case tomorrow. We'll see. I don't think it's particularly a good matchup for Arkansas. one of the biggest weaknesses on this Arkansas team has been containing dynamic guards off the dribble. Mississippi State has two. Obviously, everybody knows about Josh Hubbard. Jaden Epps is pretty dangerous as well. They're the two leading scorers for this Bulldogs team. They don't really have a strong interior presence. They have Quincy Ballard, who has good size and is somewhat productive, but, their whole offense runs through Epps and Ballard. They don't necessarily play a super fast brand of basketball, but they're not slow either. They'll get a ton of shots up. They're pretty solid in getting offensive rebounds, securing second chance points. Ballard gets to the free throw line a lot. They're going to get to the free throw line a lot as a team too. But they also give up a ton of offensive rebounds. They give up a ton of rebounds. A lot of that's just due to their overall shot volume. I think if Arkansas can find a way to minimize, it's the story of the season, minimize second chance points and defend on the ball a little bit better to prevent these straight line drives, then it's a win for Arkansas. But, those are the two areas that Arkansas struggled in all year. Not a great matchup, but I think Arkansas, coming off a bye week, coming off a loss against a team they should have beaten at home, I think they should be prepared to get a win.
Jackson Collier is our guest here from Hog Beat here on the Morning Rush. Jackson, you mentioned Josh Hubbard. You mentioned everything going on right there in Mississippi State for this one. One of the things that I would truly like to know about this basketball team is, do I need to start reaching out to my contacts at Highland Dairy to get Carter Knox's face plastered across the milk cartons? Because he sort of disappeared, and he tends to do that in these games where we truly, truly need him. How can the Razorbacks get Carter Knox to get back on track and take them as far as he can?
I think it really is what John Calipari said. He needs to get lost in the game. And that doesn't mean go get lost on the floor and don't produce, which is kind of what he's done in some of these big games. But more of, don't go out there trying to make the big plays. Just go out there and play hard, and the big plays will come to you. Big plays don't even necessarily have to be, a big-time three-pointer as the shot clock expires, or like an alley-oop dunk. That can be getting a rebound and pushing in transition for A-Cup to score a layup. It could be getting a steal. It could be any number of things. But just trying to play within the game rather than forcing the issue or getting lost when he realizes he cannot force the issue. I think that's kind of a difficult balancing act for him, because he obviously entered the NBA draft last year, decided to come back to college because he knew if he stayed in, he would not have college eligibility. But he came back, and everybody thought he was going to be the leader on this team. Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas have kind of taken that over. I feel like he's kind of in Carter Knox is kind of in this limbo where, he needs to produce at a high level and he needs to take charge, but you also don't want to overstep your bounds and reduce Acuff and Thomas's impact, because they are so impactful and they are such positive players and they are super talented. So I can empathize with that. Like it is a difficult tight wire for Knox to be balancing and navigating. But by the same token, I think making the plays outside of the scope of anything designed, and that's crashing the boards and, finding plays, cutting off the wing, playing good defense, doing things he can control to help make the team better.
Jackson, real quick, I know that you also saw from the field of 68 earlier this week. They've been ranking jobs across different conferences about how, coaches and assistant coaches from that league ranking the jobs. They released it for the SEC earlier this week, and I think a lot of people were a little bit confused, not necessarily where Arkansas was. All of us here know what the basketball program means and just how good it's been and successful compared to other programs in the SEC. There was no question that Kentucky would be at 1, but the school in between Kentucky and Arkansas, they had a lot of folks scratching their heads. Did you agree with what that was about, just purely about the money? And what are your thoughts on those SEC job rankings that we saw this week?
So I struggled to see Texas at number 2, and I think the overwhelming reason was you can make a lot of money being the head coach at the University of Texas, and you can have resources as the head coach of the University of Texas while also having somewhat of low-ish expectations, which I kind of buy, but also I don't buy it enough to put it at number 2. Because if you put Texas at number 2, that means you have Arkansas, Florida, Tennessee behind it. And I don't see any 3 of those jobs behind the University of Texas, because you have to factor in, on top of the resources, how much money you can make as a coach, how involved the fan base is, all this sort of stuff. You have to factor in history, especially recent history. And Texas does not have any recent history to speak of. Outside of the Elite Eight that Ronnie Terry took them on, I don't think they've been beyond the second weekend since Rick Barnes was there. I could be wrong. I haven't looked closely, but I'm pretty sure it's been one appearance past the second weekend since Rick Barnes. And, these other schools, Florida just won a national championship. Tennessee is constantly either at the top of the conference. They haven't made a ton of deep runs in the NCAA tournament, but consistently at the top of the SEC in performance. And I get it. It's a job ranking. It's not all about performance. But in the lens of looking at the money situation, the support, in addition to results, I don't see how Texas was number 2.
All right, Jackson, real quick before we let you go here. Obviously, Super Bowl Sunday coming up right here. I got 2 quick questions for you because I do know that outside of Arkansas Razorback basketball, you do like to share some strong opinions on music, specifically classic rock, and food. So, number 1, what is the Super Bowl spread this weekend at Casa de Collier? And is there a classic rock act that's never performed at the Super Bowl that you would love to see on the stage?
Oh, man, those are tough.
Yeah.
So as far as the spread goes, probably pretty simple. Might do some bacon jam burger sliders in the air fryer or something, and then some guacamole and some cheese dip. Might be pretty simple. As far as a classic rock band that has not played the Super Bowl, I have to think back to who has played. Prince, Kiss have both played. Has AC/DC played?
I don't know, but that would be a good one. They would get that place shaken.
I feel like AC/DC would have been a good one. I think they're a little old now, but I think they would have been a good one. I think Def Leppard probably would have been a good one too. People love their Def Leppard, the middle-aged white people, and I'm essentially a middle-aged white person. I'm a middle-aged white person at 30 years old, so I feel it. Those would probably be 2 that I could see putting on a good show, at least somewhat, like in this time frame. But I'm a big sucker for some other hair metal bands and stuff. Like I would have loved to see Cinderella, but I don't think they would ever be popular enough to be a Super Bowl show.
Yeah, well, Jackson, we appreciate you stopping by and taking some time to tell us a little bit about this matchup this weekend, your thoughts on all the eligibility fiasco. Man, we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on. Enjoyed talking.
All right, going to be a fun weekend, full weekend of great sports, and SEC basketball tomorrow will get our attention. Of course, Sunday full. I wish there was a blockbuster college basketball game. Arkansas, Kentucky used to play Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah,
I get there's a 5-hour pregame show, and these networks kind of get out of the way of each other that have spent billions to have this game every 3 or 4 years on their network, but. I'm not going to sit down and watch 5 hours of pregame.
No, I mean, I won't either,
so give me something else to really sink my teeth into. Hey, why wait till Monday for your dental emergency? You don't have to. Valley Urgent Dental knows that your pain can't wait. And that's why whether you have a broken tooth or a painful infection, sports injury, they've got you covered with Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry. Now, they're not there to take the place of your regular dentist. They just know your regular dentist is closed, and you need immediate dental care when you have a dental emergency. 479-235-5655. 235-5655 for Valley Urgent Dental. They're available on the weekends when your regular dentist is not. That's Valley Urgent Dental. 479-235-5655. See them at 5505 Upper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Don't wait. Your smile deserves immediate care with Valley Urgent Dental.
All right, we hit on the SEC distributing those millions of dollars to all their member schools for 24-25. We talked a little bit about Sankey and the affidavit that he signed in support of the NCAA and the whole Betty Yako thing. We'll get into a little bit more of that, some of the matchups from this weekend on the hardwood, and more, as well as Will Campbell, former LSU offensive tackle, talking a little trash on the Razorbacks at Super Bowl Media Day. All of that and more is coming up on your SEC Update, only on the Morning Rush.
Fastbreak Friday brought to you by QC Kinetics in Bentonville. Get back to living your life.
Steal by the Razorbacks, knocks to the other end, and a throwdown.
Out here, days are getting a little cooler, and mornings are starting with a few more layers. It's the season for more time at the grill, More feed for your animals? Heaters burn late into the night, and the woods start calling your name. We appreciate hard-working hands, shared moments, and love for our land. That's why season after season, we're here for your life out here. Tractor Supply.
Whoever's paying them, well, you got a poor return for your investment.
This is the Morning Rush.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and backed by a comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Mark your calendars and save big at the Greater River Valley RV Show going on February 12th through the 16th at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Special show pricing and financing available on all units, new or used. Come and see our large inventory of industry-leading brands such as Grand Design and Forest River. Take advantage of the huge savings at the Greater River Valley RV Show at Crabtree RV Center, February 12th through the 16th. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hotline, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their ham-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Arkansas and Southwest Missouri is offering 50% off installation or no interest if paid in full until 2027. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends January 31st, 2026.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally climbed the hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Hunter's awesome. He's my locker mate. So, yeah, he's awesome. He's a great person. He's a football player, but he's an even better person on the field. The way that he carries himself, the way that he treats people, an amazing dad, and I've loved being around him, getting to build our relationship.
Terrible audio, but that was Will Campbell talking about Hunter Henry. And I cut this part out because I wanted to play it separately, but he did talk a little trash.
Well, you went to LSU, of course. Hunter Henry went to Arkansas. Yeah, you shake your head right there. That's a big-time rivalry for us, Arkansas.
Little brother. Man, that makes me mad a little bit on this SEC update, Tommy. But, I mean, he's right, unfortunately. And he's right, but... So that's Will Campbell, former LSU offensive tackle that's going to get suited up for the Patriots on Super Bowl Sunday.
But you hear what he said there at the end? Don't gloss over that. Big-time rivalry for us.
Yeah, big-time rivalry for us, which is good. At least
we always think that LSU doesn't mean anything to them, it means everything to Arkansas. And now that game's being moved to the end of the year, maybe that becomes a big-time rivalry again for
and back on Black Friday weekend as well, that weekend after Thanksgiving. So
end of the year.
Yeah. It should be a lot more fun after that. But that made me mad a little bit on this SEC update this morning. But we talked a little bit about the SEC distributing more than $1 billion to its schools for 24 and 2025. Tommy, $1 billion is a lot of money, and that's just revenue from what they've made from TV, from all these bowls and everything like that. And so when you hear that they're getting $75 million on average from the SEC, and they're still asking for money in all these different places too, I know that all this money gets funneled into different channels, but to me this just seems it seems so odd that we have to keep that all these schools are still having to ask their fans to fork over more money for their season tickets, more money for regular tickets, money for this, money for that, and here they are getting $75 million on a handout just for being on TV from the SEC. It's just, I feel like this is just creating a larger disconnect and a bigger rift between fan bases and the teams they're supporting.
$72.4 million on average per school, and this is for the fiscal year that ended 24-25. It's, as you stated, more than $200 million more in the billion-dollar total than it was previously. Oklahoma and Texas joining the league means it's divided 16 ways now. So and they each received distributions of 2.6 and 12.1 respectively related to the college football playoff and bowl participation as designated by the NCAA funds. So the $72.5 million average per school is $18.6 million above the previous year's distribution, which was $53.8. So all of the expansion of the SEC network, the growth in the new contract, it's all paying out. So it's only going to get bigger. Now, there may be a short-term dip as 14 schools got the full share this time. Then you had, a partial share for the other two, but as they come into a full share. But, yeah, $1 billion is nothing to sneeze at. So a lot of money there.
Lots and lots of money.
And it's got to grow in order to, overcome the operating shortfalls they're all crying about now.
And so
but hard to make your fans feel like, things aren't really working out when Hunter Yurchek's about to pick up an ACH in the bank account up there for $72 million.
Well, that's the other thing the SEC is dealing with, but also, Sankey got involved in this Bediako stuff. He put his, he put his finger on the pulse of this, and so this is just, to me, I asked you this earlier, but I mean, to me this seems very odd. I mean, this is a guy that lives in Alabama apparently. I mean, this is the Alabama. Alabama is where the SEC office is. We feel like Alabama tends to get the benefit of the doubt, and they're the darlings of the SEC over there. But here they are. They're kind of the poster child now for breaking the rules and getting spanked by Daddy Sankey.
Well, and, this was, Greg Sankey is an attorney by trade.
Yes, he's a very good one.
He that's what he does, but he runs the Southeastern Conference, and he's been in college athletics his professional life. But it's a smart guy, and he understands the process. So, he's entering this affidavit as just basically we're staking out our position as a league. This is what we urge you to do in this case, making it known and going on record with the entire league, which I'm sure a lot of these conversations happen privately, but really the college sports world, that here's our stance as a conference. I'm the commissioner. I speak for the league, and we've been crying for a couple of weeks. It was time for Sankey in this league to stake a claim, to be a leader on this front. I think that's exactly what he did yesterday, was saying, here's how we feel about it as a league. We don't want this moving forward, and we urge you to uphold the rules that you have in place. And, this was voluntary on his behalf, but I think necessary at the same time.
Yeah, that's going to be your SEC update. That's all I got.
All right, SEC update brought to you by my friends at Vici Aesthetics and Wellness, who should become your friends if you're struggling to get that New Year's resolution really going, or maybe the scale isn't moving quite as fast as you'd like and you need some help. Vici Aesthetics and Wellness will customize a weight loss program for you. Peptide therapies are available. Weight loss therapies are available with semaglutide, tirzepatide, and other therapies that can help you lose the weight. We're talking about the shot, but they also have Samorelin, glutathione, NAD+, that are peptides that can be customized for you and the results that you're after as well to make you look better, feel better, increase your metabolism, and boost energy and balance in your life. And what stood out to me right away is that Vici does make it personal. Every step of the process, from the telemedicine call at the beginning to the follow-ups throughout the week, they make sure it's going to work for you. That's why we've partnered with them, and we're also bringing you along for it. 10% off when you mention you heard it right here on the Morning Rush and ESPN Arkansas. Go to ViciAestheticsandWellness.com. That's VICI, ViciAestheticsandWellness.com, or just call and set your first appointment, 479-343-8424. They're here in Northwest Arkansas, but if you're anywhere in Arkansas, Oklahoma, or Missouri, they can take care of you through telemedicine as well. 479-343-8424. Ask for your 10% off or go to ViciAestheticsandWellness.com.
Ryan's giving us a call here all the way from Hot Springs on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Ryan, good morning. You're on the Morning Rush. No tie today, just me and Tommy. What's going on, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. Y'all got me thinking when y'all asked that question to Jackson about what classic rock band. It's hard to think that they're technically classic rock now, but my first choice would be Metallica.
Oh, yeah. And they never played a Super Bowl? I guess they haven't.
I have no idea if they have it. I don't think they had, but cause I think at the peak of their popularity, I don't think they were mainstream enough because they were, air quote, too heavy. So I highly doubt that they've ever done one, but man, it's just crazy to me that you got one of the best intros at Virginia Tech in all of college football, and it had never been played at the Super Bowl.
That would be
a
pretty
good
cool.
one. That would be a good one. That would definitely get the people excited. Ryan, Tommy, you felt. Go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
I was going to say that I wanted to say this before you ask your question. I also wanted to add: have y'all ever seen Shane Gillis talk about that intro? It's pretty dead gum funny.
I want to go out there. I mean, we've got a connection here with someone that's a Virginia Tech alum. I want to go to a game out there because I think that would be. It should be one of them awesome things in sports to experience.
So my brother-in-law, Parker Romo, who got some time in the NFL this past season and has on and off as a kicker, he graduated from Virginia Tech and got to spend some time there in Lane Stadium as the kicker. And he said there are very few times in his life where the goosebumps that he felt made him literally uncomfortable. And he said one of those was walking into Lane Stadium for the first time and just hearing that song. So you're right, Ryan.
Awesome.
That would be just absolutely incredible.
Well, Shane, and y'all have to watch it because, like I said, this ain't gonna do it justice. But as soon as I get done watching the intro, he goes, "Yeah, all that for mid-football."
That's pretty true. Well, maybe James Franklin can get things turned around there. Ryan, we appreciate the call here this morning on the Morning Rush. Well, that's good stuff. Tommy, have you caught up on your Spanish? Have you brushed up a little bit on your Espanol? Are you ready for the Bad Bunny
Uno,
halftime
dos,
show?
tres, cuatro, cinco. No, I'm not ready for Bad Bunny. No.
Oh, you know what? There's a lot of people that speak Spanish that are going to be watching this game that'll think this is probably the best show ever. I don't speak Spanish. I'm not going to understand a word, but I do like Bad Bunny. I think he's really funny, and I think it should be a good show. But you've not gotten
I'll
you don't
probably
have a Spanish to English dictionary. You're not going to be translating as he sings.
I'll probably wander back to the smorgasbord. is probably what I'll do with the rest of the men that will shake their head and walk out of the room.
There'll be a lot of shaking heads. I can tell you that. A lot of what's he saying?
Yeah, the Oaklawn Sports app is available now. If you want to download that, get ready for the weekend. All the prop bets are there, and if you're a new customer, new sign up with Oaklawn Sports, you'll get $1,000 in bonus bets. If your first bet doesn't work out each of the first 10 days, you can get a bonus bet of up to $100 a day, or totaling $1,000. They've got a lot of specials going on right now. A lot of parlay incentives, a lot of second chance betting, a lot of things going on around the Super Bowl that you want to check out in their promotions as well. So get the Oaklawn Sports app. Bet with a brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Well, we got the Super Bowl coming up. We got Lang Whitman coming up in the next segment, too. Cause
talk some more about Oakland. We'll talk about the racing.
Well, horse racing has returned. They're back. They were on a little break, all the weather and everything. And
Southwest Stakes today.
Yeah,
big day at the track.
Should be really, really fun.
Yeah, so we'll talk to Lang and get ready for what's going to be a great day. I'm sure the infield's too soggy to be on after all the snow and everything melting off still. Cart path only out there for you golfers, cart path only term. But it's going to be a fun day at the track. We'll talk to Lang about that coming up, and a big weekend that starts today with the Southwest Stakes. First, a word for Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. Love Clint's place up there. Been around for more than 60 years, and just really one of the treasures in our state. The White River, talk about amenities and things that we all get to enjoy. The mountains here in the Ozarks, and I'm telling you, the White River is one of those treasures here in the natural state. And we're lucky to have a place like Gaston's that, has, over a mile and a half of riverfront, over several hundred acres of property there to enjoy. And they love sharing it with the rest of us. And right now they'll do it a little bit more affordable for you with winter rates. So call and ask about winter rates for the month of February, whether it's a Valentine's getaway, an anniversary getaway, or just I need to get away. Gaston's is there for you. Restaurants back up and going so you can enjoy great meals at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Most of their private cabins come with a kitchen as well, so if you like to cook and enjoy a few things in your own cabin, you can do that. And I love the fireplaces. They bring you all the wood you need. That's not an extra deal where you go to these convenience stores or whatever and you get like 4 sticks of wood for $5 or whatever. It's none of that. They take care of all the details. Winter rates are in effect at Gaston's White River Resort. Enjoy 40% off this month at Gaston's. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
It's Fast Break Friday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by QC Kinetics. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
Ahead to Billy Richmond for a one-hand slam.
Be the opposite of who I am. Always good advice. Will do.
This is the Morning Rush.
All white chicken meat breaded in tortilla chips. They're Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets. Pretty different than the nugs you're used to. Haters will say, but that's not the classic nugget. Haters are right. Haters will love them anyways. Oh, and they come with Hidden Valley Ranch, another classic. But we mix it up with Diablo. They can't hate that. I mean, they can, but they won't. Crispy chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. A brand new classic. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Cold weather is tough on equipment. Frozen lines, slow hydraulics, unexpected breakdowns. Winter downtime costs money, but Sharp Equipment keeps your job moving. Get the equipment you need when you need it. Heavy equipment rentals, reliable repairs, and custom hydraulic hoses built fast. From on-site repairs to fast turn hoses and dependable rentals, we keep your projects moving no matter the temperature. Visit 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren or call 479-649-0500. Sharp Equipment, we help you move more than just the world. We keep you moving forward.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
To me, it looks like it's going to be a 2-horse race. Well, I do think we're going to have some longer odds today. Yeah, the best bet today.
Lang Whitman on the Morning Rush is brought to you by Brothers Roofing and Restoration, serving Arkansas since 1987. Call 479-353-3877 to get a free estimate and schedule your inspection today.
Well, it feels like it's been,
too long.
It has been too long since we visited with Lang Whitman. We had the holiday meet, and then took a little break as Oakland wisely scheduled some weeks off in January. And then the weather hit right as the break was set to end. And now we're back at it today with one of the biggest stakes races of the year. And we're glad to have Lang Whitman here with us, brought to you by Brothers Roofing and Restoration. Lang, great to hear from you again. And the Southwest Stakes, while a week later than we planned, is on for today.
Yeah, it's been 6 weeks since we talked, Tommy, with the holidays, like you said, the 3-week break and the ice and snow last week. Today's races, we have 12 races at Oakland, 11:30 first post, starting here shortly, and there's 4 stakes races on the card, highlighted by the Martha Washington, where the fillies will gain points toward the Kentucky Oaks, and the $1 million Southwest that you mentioned, where horses will gain points toward the starting gate for the Kentucky Derby. Those are the 2 big races today, really the Southwest. Saturday, we have 11 races at Oakland, 12 noon first post. The feature race is the 9th race, the Bayakoa Stakes, featuring the champion filly from 2025, making her 4-year-old debut, Nitrogen. I think she's going to be on the path toward the Apple Blossom later in the meet. Also on Saturday, the podcast that I'm part of with Scott Blair that is housed here on hitthatline.com, the horse right here. We're taking it live to the Crosswalk Bar.
All right.
We're going to be on YouTube Live at 10:30 to 11. I'm going to handicap 3 or 4 races that are going to be on the card for Saturday, so I'm looking forward to that. Sunday, Super Sunday, we have 10 races, 12 o'clock first post. The 8th race, the King Cotton, is the highlight of the day. I believe that one is a 6-furlong race. It's going to be a contentious race. Whitmore has won that race several years in a row, years back. So it's a big prep race to some more stakes races later in the meet.
Certainly a full weekend going on at Oakland. I was just wondering as you were talking, because we talk about the break, and normally there's plenty of training going on, but with the weather, how many days of training were missed, and how does that affect the way you view these races coming up this weekend? Because I would imagine there were at least a handful of days the horses couldn't get on the track during all this recent ice and snow and cold weather.
I'll tell you what, Tommy, what I'm going to look at is an angle for at least the next couple weeks, is I'm looking for logical horses in these races, the contenders, but if they have been stabled elsewhere in the country, maybe the fairgrounds down in New Orleans where they didn't have this weather, shipping up to Oakland to race. The Oakland horses, I believe they were off the track for 10 full days.
Wow.
So that's some missed training. I'm not
not sure how you quantify how much fitness might have been lost. I don't think it's a ton, but I'll tell you what, if it's going to be a close race, and I have one horse shipping up from New Orleans that hasn't missed any training, and I think it's an equal horse at Oakland that has missed a little bit of training, I'm going to take the horse that did not miss any training and is shipping up into these races. And I have that angle here as we get into my best bet.
All right, we're going to talk about your best bet and also the fact that people, you've already got your picks for today out and they're available. But Friday's best bet, you always give us some value here and a place maybe to find the odds that are just right. What do you like today on the card?
Yeah, I almost left it up to you. Did you want me to go for a long shot or a more logical horse? I decided myself to go with the more logical horse, the best bet today. And I'm going to race number 10, horse number 8, Blue Fire, at 5-2 on the morning line for trainer Steve Asmussen. Jockey Jose Ortiz riding. Ortiz has rode this horse for 6 of his 10 career starts. In those 6 starts, 4 wins, 2 places. Lifetime for Blue Fire, 10 starts, 5 wins, 3 places. At the 6 furlong distance today, 5 career starts, 3 wins, 1 place, and has been training for this race at the fairgrounds in New Orleans. Blue Fire is the fastest horse with the best speed figures consistently in this race. There's some other horses that have jumped up and ran faster than him at times, but he is the most consistently fast horse in this race. There's nothing about this horse that I do not like. My best bet of the day, number 8, Blue Fire in the 10th race at Oakland.
At the Railbird 333, you can find Lang's tip sheets and more on all the social media platforms. Just $8 a day or get a season subscription at Oakland. Lang, enjoy the Southwest Stakes, and we'll talk to you next Friday.
Looking forward to it, Tommy. Glad to be back.
All right, Lang Whitman with us each Friday during Oakland's meet. We're glad to have him back. It's brought to you by Brothers Roofing and Restoration. If you've experienced maybe some leaks in your roof with the recent ice and snow that's been on your roof, or maybe you've had a storm last year that you've yet to repair the damage, Brothers Roofing and Restoration is there for you. 479-353-3877. The highest quality materials, things that will help bring your insurance rates down. Talk to Brother about all the options when it comes to your roofing. 479-353-3877. They've got crews with decades of experience that are nearby you to get your roof done right. 353-3877 for Brothers Roofing and Restoration. It's been a Fast Break Friday brought to you by QC Kinetics. 479-999-1234 is their number right here in Northwest Arkansas. Glad to have them on board every Friday. 999-1234 for our friends at QC Kinetics.
Matt Jones and Phil Elson coming up next with the C Unit on halftime right here on ESPN Arkansas.
That stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years.